Alright guys, this is going to be a video about modeling the squirt here from Space Invaders. I've got a picture in the back there. I've backed it up a little bit. I've got it on 90 degrees. Pressing 1 over here on the numpad will allow you to see a front view. Shift 1 will be the back. We're not going to lean too heavily on this picture. This is just kind of like a reference for me. Alright, so let's get started on making it. I'm going to start by Shift A to add a UV sphere. For the UV sphere, I turned down the segments. You can do that by this little pop-up box that appears down here. As soon as you add the object, it'll appear. Turning it up will give you more segments, and then rings will give you more rings for detail. I'm going to do 24 by 10. Now, this is not an exact anything. This is what I think I want to use for him. I'm going to try to keep him low detail because I don't want him to get too complicated. Alright, pressing tab will take you into edit mode, and there are some pretty useful things that you can do here. If I look at the guy's hands, he looks like he's got 2 hands and then 2 legs. So let me go to front view. I'm actually going to get rid of this for a second, and we're going to work with showing you how to do some of the symmetry stuff here. So I click a couple of these and I do G and then Z. G. You see you can pull them out. If you do E, you can pull them out like that. If you turn on the symmetry stuff, it will actually do the symmetry on both sides. You could also do the symmetry on Z, and it'll get the bottom side with it. Oh man, come on now. There we go. So you've got a way to edit your shape in multiple ways. As long as both sides are actually in the same spot, the symmetry mode will work. So as I'm creating this, you're going to see that, man, I don't know if it's pushing it 2 times. You're going to see that I'm going to try to make symmetrical changes on both sides here. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, front view, grab these 2. I'm also going to try to grab the same 2 on the other side. So from the middle, 1, 2, and then 2. So 1, 2, and then 2. So I'm going to grab those. So I've got those 4. I push E. I'm just going to pull out some arms here. G, I want them to go a little bit higher, so there we go. So I've got 2 arms. They're not exactly straight up and down, are they? I guess that's fine. Uh-oh. That's fine. Alright, let's take a look at the back side of him. So I'm going to do Shift 1. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The back legs were a little bit bigger, so I'm going to do, let's do 3 this time. 1, 2, 3, and I'll do 1, 2, 3. So there's my middle line. I'm going to do E, and then Z, and I'll pull down some legs. Alright, so I've got a pair of legs on the bottom, on the back side, and a pair of arms. The arms are a little bit shorter, or a little bit thinner. So what I'm going to want to do is now I'm going to make some shapes here. Let's take a look back at our picture again. You can see that at the start it's bigger, then it gets smaller to a type of point. Alright, so I need to add some detail to the arms here. I'm going to go to vertex mode. Oops. 1 back to the 4. Alright, so as of right now, if I grab this and move it, it's moving all together because it's got no detail. So let's add some detail. Hover over the top of it and do Control R. And however many rings you cut on this side, you're also going to want to cut on the other side. So let's start off with like, I don't know, let's start with like 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The way I'm doing this is by doing Control and R, and then I can roll up on the mouse wheel to add more. roll down to add less. I'm going to put 5 in there. I'm going to click, click. The first click that you do puts the cut in. Then you can slide up and down to decide where the cuts want to go. On this one, don't slide at all. Just add the cuts. So just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click and don't move, and click again, and now you'll have 5 cuts. All right. Well, the cut that we just made our object not symmetrical. So if I try to move this, it's not going to move this one over here because it's no longer symmetrical. So what you want to do is you want to do the same cuts over here. So 5. Now when you do that, if you move one side, it will move the other because there's symmetry there. It has a vertice on this side and on this side opposite, so it matches those two vertices together and it allows you to move them together. Alright, so there's that. Okay, so I cut 5 in that one. It needs to come to a point here. What I'm going to do, whoops, let me turn this picture off again. Picture off. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more cut here. Control R at the bottom. Control R. Then I'm going to grab this cut and I'm going to move it down. If you tap G 2 times in a row, it will lock it onto. So if you just push G once, it'll go anywhere. But if you push G 2 times in a row, you'll get it to lock onto that line. And I want you to move this one rather low, like such. And then I'm going to scale it. Scale Shift Z, and I'm going to just actually no, just do regular scale S. And I'm just going to scale it down so the part next to his body is smaller there. Alright, now I want to, it kind of grows near, like it kind of looks like it gets larger right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this part and I'll scale it up. Grab the next one, scale it up a little bit. And it needs to come to a point. Now, both of these things are kind of slanted. Watch this. I'm going to grab these. And if you scale it on the Z, so I pushed S and then Z. As you scale it, you'll see that they kind of like line up. I'm going to do 0. That'll set it to exactly flat. So watch that again. So S, Z, and then 0. We'll put them all level. So now all of those little lines here are now level. And I'm going to scale it. And I'm just going to shrink it kind of like to a point. Something like that. Now, oops, now all I want to do is just make it, I don't know, more shapely. Holding Alt and clicking will grab that ring around there. And I'm just kind of just shaping it to make it look kind of like that. I mean, you can use your own design if you'd like there. Looks like my middle, looks like there's like a middle line here. I'm not so sure how much I like that. No, X. I don't know what the best way to move that is. I'm almost tempted to just get rid of it. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Alright, whatever. There's the arms. Front arms are fine. Let's do basically the same thing with the bottom one. Let's come down here. Let's loop cut the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click. Alright. Then I added an extra cut here. And then I grabbed that one and I moved it up towards the body here. So G and G, move it up, scale it down. There we go. So now I've got some like little leggy looking things here. Alright, now I'm going to grab these bottom ones. Let's see if I can do Alt. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Okay, here, let's grab these. Grab those, this one, this one, this one, this one. Alright, I want these to also be straight. So scale on the Z, 0. Alright, so now they're all flat. Alright, let's scale them down to make them look like they're at a point. Something like that. I actually want it to be more pointy than that, so I'll do GZ. Oops, GZ. And I can pull it down. And I've got more of a point down there at the bottom. I want this part to shrink some. This part to shrink. That one to shrink. Something like that. That looks pretty decent to me. Alright, so now we've got the arms. They're not perfect, but they'll work. I mean, they look like little arms. Alright, now he's got this like face looking thing here. I'm going to pull this and I'm going to grab the picture and I'm going to move it if it'll... Oh, you know what? I'm not on the picture. Let me go to object mode. Let me grab this picture. G, Y, G. Let me just move it over so I can see. I want to see his face while I'm modeling. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my sphere here, go into edit mode, and I'm going to try to make the squares on his face kind of match up with the shape of his face, and I'll show you why. So double G, and then it looks like kind of like got an angle here. This one. I'm doing double G. That's how I'm trying to stick on those lines. Alright. I want to get rid of some of these vertices. The way you can do that is up in the top right. There's a button called Auto Merge Vertices. And what that does, if you turn that on, when you move a vertex, if you move it on top of another one, I'm using 2Gs, so it's following that line. If I drop it on top of the other one, it will combine those two vertices together, and now there's only one vertex. So it merged them together. So I'm going to get rid of a couple of these vertices. I'm kind of just like shaping his like face, and this'll help for when you're actually trying to texture it. Texturing it is like basically like painting it, giving it its color or whatever. My keyboard is driving me crazy. You know what? I'm gonna keep that one right there. I might actually loop cut this. So I'm adding a loop cut there. Control R. Let's see. I don't want this line right here anymore. Can I delete it? I might have just caused myself more work than it's worth, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't like that. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of this middle line too. Let me go back. Back. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get rid of this line, and that line. Those three. X. You can get rid of edges just by clicking, you know, X and then edges. Alright, now I'm gonna grab all those and I'm gonna press F. Alright, now his face is like has a flat part on it. Okay. His eyes. I don't know. That's not perfect, but whatever. This kind of right there is going to be the eyes, and then going down. Maybe I should move this over a little bit. Something like that. Down. Alright, so he's got like a little face part now. I envision this part being the black part, and then somewhere around here being the gray part. Alright, I think our character's looking pretty decent. Maybe I want the top of his head to be a little bit more flat. You can make it perfectly flat by grabbing all of them. SZ0 will flatten them. You could also grab even more of them. You could grab all of these. I don't know how important this is. I don't want to make this video way too long. It's probably already too long as it is, but... Let's see what this looks like. SZ0. Yeah, no, that looks dumb. I'll just leave it like that. You could also just... Let me grab these and just pull them down a little bit. Something like that. Maybe I'll do the same down here. Alright, I think he's looking alright. I'm going to check on his face orientation. Up here at the top right, you have overlays. There's an arrow next to it. If you turn on face orientation, you should be able to see if he's flipped in the opposite direction. It looks like he is... He is facing the correct way all the way through. And you'll see the inside of him is red. That's because the computer thinks that's the inside. The regular is colored like that, so it thinks it's the outside. Alright, I'm going to stop with this video.